Good morning, everyone. Welcome to Startup Tuesday. Today, I'm trying to get us on our schedule to, talk more and more about things you can do for your business on a couple of different days a week. So today we're going to go ahead and talk about how to write really great Etsy listing descriptions. So this is something that so many people struggle with. I mean, Etsy's success can really seem like it is hit or miss, but the thing is it's not hit or miss at all. Etsy's success is very systematic. It's really based off of a set of variables, and if you do the steps, you're likely to have success. Now, this is of course largely limited to people in the United States and the UK and Canada. And the reason why is because those three countries have the largest presence on Etsy and have the largest number of buyers. Unfortunately, when you live in another country, really any other country, your success can actually be hit or miss just because of your location. And it's unfortunate, but that's just, if you don't have something that's like amazingly unique, you're just not going to get the same kind of results that a lot of other buyers are getting. So, one of my favorite stories to tell you guys, I don't think I've told this before, but there is this hat maker in Greece, and my ex loves hats. So he had really wanted this like fancy fedora. Don't ask me why. But he really liked stuff that had like a story behind it that wasn't just, I didn't just go to Kohl's and buy a fedora. So I found this hat maker in Greece who did it like old world style, who, actually like made the felt himself, and did the hats like really handmade, true quality. And the price was unbeatable. I couldn't even find a fedora that was like he wanted for under like $200. And I got this one shipped from Greece for $75 with shipping included. So that's an example of someone who has something that's like completely unique and their business is really thriving because of it. But for most of us who are in this group, we are all selling similar types of products that are in the handmade market, that are in the sublimation market. Maybe you do vinyl, maybe you do hand painted signs. There's just so many different products that are out there, and the market can feel really saturated and really competitive when it doesn't need to be. Because the reality of it is that Etsy works in your favor in a couple of different ways. One of the biggest things that they do is geotag. So let's say that I'm searching for waffle towels on Etsy, and I'm looking for I search funny kitchen towel because I'm thinking my little brother is going to love these for Christmas, and I'm actually giving him them for Christmas. So that's even better. But, so let's say I search this. Etsy is going to show me shops that are using that keyword and are closest to me. One of the reasons that they do this is to help kind of offset those shipping costs. So that's like one variable into how your listings get presented into customers. They also get presented based on the keywords you use, the amount of traffic your shop gets, whenever you've had recent updates to your shop, and pretty much things that fall into those categories. And I've expressed this before in other videos that one of the best things that you can do for your Etsy shop is make small changes every single day. Not necessarily add new products. Like if you're already at capacity for your products, then just going in and uploading a new photo, uploading the status update, updating your announcement, making a few changes to how things are phrased or the keywords that you're using. Those little details help bump up your shop on Etsy search engines, which helps you, generate more traffic. And this is something that you can do in, 5 minutes in the morning, while you're using the bathroom. Like, to be completely honest, you can do this in just a couple of minutes. The biggest thing is consistency in terms of that. So for your listing descriptions, I've talked about keywords before, and I'll do kind of a more in-depth thing on keywords on Saturday. But today I just want to talk to you guys about doing your descriptions, because this is one of the most important things, and it's also one of the most difficult things that a lot of Etsy shop owners struggle with, is how to write a decent description. And I read people's descriptions all the time that are nothing short of atrocious. And it's mostly because a lot of us are good at crafting, but we're not good at being salespeople. And there really is a difference. There's a reason why copywriters get paid as much money as they get paid. And I used to do copywriting for a living, and it was kind of exhausting. We all know Billy Mays, the super exciting infomercial guy. Like, you have to be like him all the time. Luckily, you don't do that with your Etsy listings. And I've actually made you guys these great little printables, which is a super easy guideline. The link is in the video description that you can use for your listings. So I'm going to go through you with this. As long as you follow this, you're pretty much guaranteed to get the results that you want. And again, like I said, this is really most relevant to people who are in the US, UK, and Canada. Unfortunately, again, if you're in other countries, you can do everything right. And it's just that the Etsy market isn't as strong there if you don't have a unique product. So the first part is your product name. In your product name, you want to make sure that you are using a keyword built into the description of your product. Now, certain types of products can have cute names. Like if you've ever seen people who sell bath bombs, a lot of them have, the Mystic Bath Bomb, the I don't know, So Beachy Body Scrub, whatever. They have cute little names. That doesn't necessarily work as well when you're making pillows and doormats and t-shirts and that sort of thing. So kind of keep that in mind, that your products don't need that specific kind of a name, but they do need something that is descriptive. So for this whole video, I'm going to use this doormat that's in front of me. So let me just, this is a doormat I'm getting ready to ship out. It's for a business. The business is called Lady Brett's Flowers. So the first thing that we're going to do is we want to make sure that we have that this is obviously a doormat in the listing. So because this is for a business and I want to target businesses, I'm going to put this up as in quotation marks. It'll say, welcome to your business, or sorry, it's going to say customizable welcome doormat. And then with a hyphen, 18-inch by 30-inch. Okay. So right there in the first 5 words, we're giving them what it is. Now, customizable doormat is a phrase that people search. One of the things I noticed recently is I went to search for Halloween doormats to kind of see some different ideas that were out there. And I noticed that there was maybe 5 that were these polyester doormats. And it's not that there's not shops that are carrying these. There are hundreds of shops that carry these. It's that so many of them were not using the right keyword phrase to get it tagged with all the core doormats that were listed. So you really got to make sure that you pay attention of how you phrase things. So personalized doormat, doormat for business, business name doormat. These are keywords that I would use for this specific doormat. And when you're looking at your products, no matter what it is, you have to think outside of just what your purpose is for it. Because you want to reach a broader market. You don't just want to sell a Hungry Caterpillar t-shirt or a personalized children's pillowcase. You want people to say, hey, that's a cute idea. I wonder if I could also get that for my best friend who just had surgery, or my mom, or whatever. You want your customers to kind of think outside the box. So when you do your product name, you want to make sure that you have either the quantity or the size right there along with the name, and make sure that you're incorporating a keyword into what the product name is. And then of course use your the page break symbol, which is like the up and down line, or a hyphen in between your keywords. Now, there are people in Etsy forums who will tell you it doesn't matter. You can use a period, you can use a comma. It does matter. And you can get online and you can read search engine optimization reports, which will tell you that it matters. And there's no specific reason. It's basically just that some kid, some nerd somewhere who writes algorithms for Google and Etsy and everything else said, I'm going to decide that this symbol is going to be a defining factor. And that's why when you search something in a search engine, every single website that you see comes up has either the page break line, which is the little up and down one, or the hyphen between the name, or between the page name and the website name, or the product name and the website name. That's why you see it that way in search engines. So don't let anyone tell you that it doesn't make a difference, because it does. It makes a difference in how the search engine reads it, and you want to make sure that they are reading those keywords specifically. Now, when you do your keywords, try not to use I guess try not to use shorthand phrases. So if you guys are like me, I feel like this is kind of a general thing. It's if you go to search something, you kind of shorthand it when you put it into Google. So let's say I want Thai food for dinner. I put Thai food Fayetteville. Now, this isn't actually a good search engine term, but search engines have learned to read around it. However, with your product listings, you want to make sure you're putting in actual conclusive phrases. So personalized doormat, handmade doormat, doormat for business, welcome doormat, things of that nature for a doormat, for example. Make sure that you use all the character spaces you can get in your title. This is where you can add long tail keywords, and long tail keywords are any keyword phrase that is longer than the allotted 20 characters that you're allowed per keyword with your tags for your listing. And this is just an opportunity for you to get more keywords. And I've explained this before, but for those of you who are kind of new or just tuning in, basically the way search engine optimization works is that every time you use a keyword or you post a product, or your hashtag for your business is shared, or someone links back to your product, it creates a strand across the internet. And these strands are like the strand of a spider web. And the bigger your web, the higher you're going to rank in search engines. And of course, your strands of your web have little micro strands that connect you to other people with similar products, similar search terms, and things of that nature. So the stronger that micro web is, again, the higher it boosts you. So this is why using as many keywords as possible is really, really important, and making sure that you're not being super specific. So for this one, I might use red truck doormat because I know that people are looking for red truck doormat. But I probably would not use flower truck doormat because a lot of people are probably not looking for a flower truck doormat. So you kind of want to make sure that you're using the right keywords in terms of that. And also, when in terms of keywords, always think outside the box. So this isn't, every keyword for this does not need to be doormat, but it should also include housewarming gift, homecoming gift, newlywed gift, bridal shower gift, gifts for realtors, because then you just open your market up more and more. All right, so the next thing you're going to do is work on your description. A product description should be a minimum of 300 to 350 words. This is just one of those things where search engines, when they set their algorithms, this is what they use. And it used to be that web articles could be 300 to 350 words and product descriptions only had to be 100 words, but that has changed over the last 13 years since SEO came about. So now most of the freelance articles that I do, they have to be a minimum of 1,200 words because Google ranks web content that is 1,200 words or higher a lot more. Obviously, that's actual article content that doesn't apply to your products because no one is going to read a 1,200 word product description. I mean, that's like 4 pages. So the next thing you're going to do is you want to start right off the bat. First of all, don't put keywords in your description just like willy-nilly at the top or at the bottom, because that doesn't benefit you. And it actually, search engines are looking for descriptions and phrases that sound like they were put together by a human. So when you just have random keywords and stuff in there like that, you're actually hurting your stance in search engine rankings, because it's not a sentence that doesn't make any sense. But what you do want to do is, as you're writing your description, you want to incorporate the keywords throughout your description. So the first sentence should always be something that's a little bit salesy, and if you can, make it start with an action word. So this is like a little trick. One of my first freelance writing jobs was with ehow.com, and every single step on ehow.com had to have an action word. That was like how they did it. So your first sentence should be an action word. So for this doormat, I would say, invite your guests in with this personalized doormat featuring your business logo. So we'll say that like that is the first sentence for this. So right off the bat, I've used the keyword personalized doormat, and I've given them like the idea that, oh, this doormat's going to be in front of my business and it's going to look so much nicer than that generic welcome mat that Cisco brings by once a week and replaces. So instantly, it puts the idea in the buyer's head. And if you're trying to market this to realtors, for example, you might say, well, I guess if we're doing gifts for realtors, so you would say, you know, shower your clients with a gift they'll remember, a personalized doormat for their new home, something along those lines. So you get the idea. You start with your first sentence. Just one sentence should be an action sentence. The next thing that you're going to do is like start a new paragraph and use 2 to 3 sentences to describe the characteristics of this doormat. So this is going to be where you kind of elaborate on the uses. So if you're using the Etsy description worksheet that's here, you'll see there's this box that says, what are the benefits of your product? And then there is the one that says, why is this product unique? So those are the 2 boxes you're going to be using in this paragraph and the next one. So when you define your characteristics, you want to use 2 or 3 sentences that just kind of elaborate on it. So for this, I'm going to say, this 100% polyester doormat features a heavy-duty rubber backing and measures 18 inches by 30 inches. The center is adorned with your chosen design and personalization, which is completely customizable. So it's only 2 sentences, but again, we made sure to incorporate a related keyword, which is what we want for search engine optimization, and we gave them the information that they need, that it is personalizable, able to be personalized, customizable, the measurements, and that it has a nice heavy duty backing. And then you could even go so far as to say, you know, that it's coated with UV coating to protect it from fading, for a long lasting look your customers will enjoy. So that would be like my 3 sentences that describe this. The next, so that works for this. If you have a product that has like ingredients, or like if you're doing clothing, for example, in between that paragraph and your next paragraph, which is where you kind of promote to get them to close the sale on this product, is where you would put a bullet list of the sizes or the key features. So let's say you're selling a tank top that's on one of those Bella and Canvas. You would say, you know, lightweight material, 60% polyester, 40% cotton, great for layering. And like you would use a bullet point list for that because it makes it easier for them to digest it. Somewhere in your listing descriptions, you always want a bullet point list or 2, depending on what product you're describing. And again, bullet points are easy to read for search engines. To my knowledge, you have to actually make your bullet point list on like Word and then copy it into Etsy, but it's kind of been a minute since I've done that. So the next part is going to be your 1 to 2 sentences that promotes your product, and why is this one worth buying? So this is where we'd say, you know, this item is, you know, handmade, made in America, customizable, makes a great gift, something to that effect. So, and then that's where I always include a bullet point list after that of what it can be used for, because that's kind of how you drive home that this is a good product to purchase. So I almost every listing I used to have, I had a bullet point list that said, this personalized doormat is the perfect idea for a bridal shower gift, a realtor gift, a homecoming gift, whatever, like the same things that I mentioned before. And the reason why is because you're incorporating keywords again that people are going to be searching. So, I mean, you could even do Christmas gifts for him, Mother's Day gifts, gifts for mom. Like you can include any of those phrases in that bullet point list because then it gives people an option. So they're not just looking at it and saying, oh yeah, it's just a doormat. They're saying, oh, you know what? My mom would like this. My sister would love this. Oh, I know someone who's getting married. I'm going to save this listing because this is a really great gift idea that they probably weren't thinking of that I know they're going to love. So when you're a seller, you have to kind of put the ideas into people's heads of what they can do. Because in general, even us, we don't think in an abstract way like that we're not constantly looking outside the box. And that's why, like, when we do tutorials or when I'm doing tutorials, I might be doing the same thing over and over, but I'm doing different things with it. So even though it's still the same product. It's still the same canvas. It's still the same polytext. I'm still showing you all these different uses that you can do, because you might not have thought, oh, hey, I can put that on a 98-cent Christmas stocking. Oh, hey, I can cut down the cost of my onesies by using this. Oh, hey, this would make a great little door hanger. This would make a great canvas wall hanging in my daughter's room. This would look great in my living room. This would look great on a gallery wall. I can sell this to other people. So you kind of always have to think outside the box in terms of that. And then the last thing you want to do is drive home the purchase. So you say, it's called a call to action, but you don't want to sound too salesy. You want it to sound, a bit more natural, like you're in a conversation. So you might close off your listing with, with a promotion you're having. So let's say you have 20% off. So use the code SUBTHAT20 to save 20% on your doormat today. Typically, those 6 sentences are going to get you to about 150 words. Remember, you don't need to be super long-winded there. The second 150 words of your listing description can be anything that relates to if you guys offer customization. And even if this specific product isn't customized, if you regularly like to expand your product options, then make sure that every single one of your listings says, have a custom idea, contact us because we love new ideas. A lot of customers are afraid to ask if they can personalize something because there are so many shop owners who don't allow custom ideas, custom requests, etc. So when you do, it helps you stand out. And that's why, again, I've told you guys numerous times that like my shop, I do not carry signs that say farmhouse, grocery, none of that stuff that's super generic. Nothing in my shop is generic. And that is because 90% of the stuff that's in my shop is ideas that customers had. I mean, they asked me for one thing and it just spiraled out from there. And it's always been amazing how lucrative that has been for me. Whether it was when I was first doing bottle openers and I only had like 3 designs on my Etsy shop and someone said, oh, hey, could you do one with the Maltese cross? Let me tell you, stuff with firefighter logos and stuff with military logos, I can't express to you guys enough, is the most popular stuff that I sell. And that Maltese cross design, it's ridiculous how many I sell of that. And now I've gotten it so good at it that I can knock it out in like 20 minutes. So that's another bonus. But there was a point where I sold like 20 something of them in a row that were just the Maltese cross. So don't be afraid to let your customers come up with new ideas, because you just never know. Last year, one of my customers had the idea for a sign that said, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. And I did theirs. And that was like my bestseller for like the whole fall season into the holidays, was a sign that just said, and I think to myself, what a wonderful world. So, that's where kind of put that customization in there. Then you also want to put in your shipping and returns policy. Shipping, returns, and cancellations is the next section you want to make sure you include in your listings. Now, even though your shop already has this information, the reality is very few people actually click on that shop policies tag and look at the information. So you want to highlight it and then say, for the full view of our shop policies, click here, and make sure that you include the link to your shop policies so that if anything ever does happen with an order, you can say, hey, I put the information here for you. You can't be upset with me that you didn't read it. So you want to make sure. Customers are often lazy, especially when it comes to buying handmade stuff. They see the picture, they look at the price, they say, okay, I'm going to buy it, and they don't read anything else. So sometimes they miss key information about the materials it's made out of, or how the sizing is, or how long the processing time is, or whatever. So you want to make sure you put all of that information in there for them. And then last but not least, be sure to cross-link other sections of your shop. Now, I say sections instead of products because if you make a change to your product name at some point, like that first introductory part, not the keyword part, it actually changes the link. So if you've already cross-linked a bunch of stuff and then you decide to change how you phrase something, that link isn't going to work anymore. So instead, use your product categories. And, so with this, you'd say, oh, shop our other doormats here. You might also like our array of handmade accessories here. and put in your shop link. So the cross-linking also helps build up that spider web as well. And then on the bottom of these little worksheets, I've put a spot for your keywords and your categories. Honestly, I feel like categories should be pretty self-explanatory, but again, make sure you're not limiting yourself. I have like several signs that I guess you could consider wedding signs, but I only put some of them in a wedding sign category when I was on Etsy because I didn't want to limit myself otherwise with the other ones. So, just, you kind of got to think outside the box. Like, it sucks because you can't have, 20 different categories. Like when you build your own website, you can have all the categories you want, and all of those categories are going to be picked up by search engines and whatnot. Unfortunately, on Etsy, you don't have that option, which again is one of the reasons why I moved off of Etsy, because I just needed so many more variables to be able to make my business thrive, and I couldn't get those on Etsy. But the benefits of Etsy, hands down, cannot be understated. If you do it all right, it's one of the fastest ways to generate money pretty quickly. And all in all, you just can't go wrong. So do that. And then I've also talked to you guys before about using Etsy Rank or Marmalade to help you find keywords. And I'll kind of dive more in that, and I'll try and do like a live video on the computer so you guys can see how to effectively search for keywords. But for the most part, again, still the same thing. Think outside the box. So you can use the link to download these little graphics and the PDF file and help you with your listings. And keep in mind, if you're struggling with what to say or how to phrase it, post your products to your Facebook friends and family and say, hey, how would you describe this? What would you search for to find this? Because as sellers, we often have tunnel vision to what we think we're promoting. And we get stuck on that one concept, like this is what we're promoting. But someone else is probably looking at it saying, hey, that would be great for X, Y, and Z. If the design looked like this, I could use it for this. If I was going to look for that, I would search this. So always feel free to take advantage of those other people. And also, there's plenty of Etsy seller groups where you can ask other people's opinions too. The downfall though is you still kind of run into the same problem where people give generic advice and don't really know how to effectively search keywords and that sort of thing. So just keep all that in mind. I hope that this was helpful for you guys. Several of you have asked about a tutorial on dividing, how to tape together a divided design across multiple pages and press something that needs more than one press. So I'm actually going to print up a doormat that I need for a gift. And I will do that one later today, probably around noon. I'll post in the group the official time. So I hope that you guys enjoy the great rest of your day, and it is warm and sunny wherever you are. Bye.